Blade, J.D. Davis to clean it up. Seth Brown in left field. Shea Langoliers is in the catch. Tyler Nevin moved into the lineup late today. Ryan Noda a scratch. He had a BP incident that we'll get into in just a bit. Lawrence Butler will be in right field, and Nick Allen to round it out.
And they're going to be taking on fireball and right-hander world champion out of Alvin, Texas, Nathan Eovaldi. Nathan Eovaldi has been throwing the ball quite well, especially his last time out. We'll get a lot of conversation about that split finger fastball. You can see some of the early numbers there. This just his third start, but the ERA sparkling, 13 innings of work, 11 punch-outs, and he's had some good success against this Oakland club as of late. We'll get into that as well.
He absolutely has great defense behind him. They were the top defense in the American League last year and neck with Arizona, who they faced off in the World Series. Davis Wenzel, he's making his major league debut. You'll see him at the hot corner today. Josh Smith getting a start at shortstop, scheduled day off for Corey Seager. Marcus Semien at second. Ezekiel Duran at first. Jonah Heim doing the catching, and in the outfield, Wyatt Langford, the great rookie, exciting rookie, Ludi Taveras, and Evan Carter in right field. So a young team that we're seeing for the Texas Rangers, just got a little bit younger, product of injury. We saw Josh Young, unfortunately, have to go on the IL with that fractured wrist, and got a couple more injuries to deal with. Here's the first pitch this evening, and swinging at the first pitch over towards first base. Ezekiel Duran will make the play, and Abraham Toro's retired.
Well, you like to see Toro back at the top of the lineup. I think Mark Kotsay figures, you know what, things got going early well with him up there. Let's plant him right back there.
Here's a look at the umpires tonight. Tom Hanahan will call balls and strikes. When Wolcott at first base, Ramon De Jesus at second, and the crew chief, Adrian Johnson, at third. Brings up Zach Geloff. Not a lot to smile about in the finale in Detroit. Really the whole series in Detroit. Just started getting those patient at bats working in game 2, which ended up leading to a victory. A couple of walks for him. Scored 3 runs in that game. Added another 4 runs yesterday. Checked him, and he did go around, according to the first base umpire, Quinn Wolcott.
Going behind early.
Here's the 0-2, and a swing and a miss. Strikeout number 1 for Nathan Eovaldi, and 2 quickly retired from the Oakland A's lineup.
Yeah, and that one right there, Jenny, on the split. And that split finger has been on its best behavior for Nathan Eovaldi. He's just wiping the world out with that thing right now. You want to talk about generating swing and miss, my goodness.
Brings up J.J. Bleday with 2 outs, just 4 pitches for Nathan Eovaldi, and that catches the zone.
And what you're finding out about Nathan Eovaldi right now is the comfort level with which he's at with that split finger, something he's used an awful lot his whole career, but now maybe venturing into new territory. And coming into this ball game, he's thrown 1 more split finger fastball than he has thrown regular fastballs.
It's working. You mentioned the whiffs. It's generated 17 whiffs so far this season coming into the game. Set for the 1-1. Swing and miss there.
There it is. He had 23 swing and misses. He's outing against Tampa. 13 of them, Jenny, 13 of them came on the splitter.
He knows his pitch. He knows his stuff. Saw that after injury last year. He re-entered the rotation in September and just absolutely rolled through the postseason for this team. One of the big reasons, along with Jordan Montgomery, that the Rangers were able to get things done on the mound. 34% of the time he's throwing that splitter, and there's a swing and a miss and another strikeout. So J.J. Bleday goes down on the curveball, back-to-back punch-outs, and 3 up, 3 down. Time for Alex Wood. Of the first, Alex Wood, his first road start, and here's the lineup he's going to face. The former Oakland A, Marcus Semien leads it off up top. Josh H. Smith hitting second. Wyatt Langford, Garcia cleaning up. Heim, Duran, Wenzeligan making his major league debut. Evan Carter and Taveras to round it out. So Semien steps in. Alex Wood gets ready. Coming off a 5-inning, 3-hit performance. A swing at the first pitch. That's into left field. And Marcus Semien going for 2. Here comes the throw. And it's not going to get there. Marcus Semien with a leadoff double. And for him, that snaps an 0 for 8.
Just what the Texas Rangers are looking for from Marcus Semien. Get the party started early. Alex Wood chopping it up right now. He's talking about the pitch com just not quite working. I think that's what the conversation's about. But hey, Woody making his 3rd start so far. He's motioning, hey, come on, I need help, I need somebody. See Adrian Johnson running over now, crew chief, trying to make sense of everything that's going on right now. Figure if you get the crew chief on your side, Jenny, you got a little bit better chance getting them to see where you're coming from.
That's exactly what it is. He just pointed towards left field. The crew chief did. So now we're seeing J.D. Davis taking off his hat. I think they're going to trade PitchCom devices just to keep the action going and try and get something working between pitcher and catcher and Alex Wood and Shea Langeliers.
Well, now they'll bring out the bat boy who will hand the PitchCom to J.D. Davis.
There's Marcotte saying we're set, we're good. Not the start you want. You give that leadoff hit up, and then, of course, communication out of whack. So hopefully a reset here quickly for Alex Wood as he faces Josh Smith.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind a do-over.
Fortunately for this do-over, you have a runner on second and no outs. Semien dancing around second, a swing and a miss there, and the changeup working early.
Oh, and it's Smith in. Talked about it. Left-handed shortstop Corey Seager with a day off. Alex Wood on the mound.
The hernia surgery Corey Seager did in the offseason, close to spring training, kind of at an uncomfortable time, I would think, if you're the manager hearing about that and just saying, oh no, are we going to be ready? We're not going to be ready. It was a lot of the talk and conversation around camp for the Rangers this spring as Wood steps off. And he's playing, but at the same time, you don't want to push him into 100%, knowing the season's so long. So Corey Seager on board with that, and they've been trying to manage his workload. That's on the ground foul.
Well, you think about what a shortstop's out there doing and ranging around the infield, but then obviously with his swing and his ability to generate the sort of power that he does with his swing, you're probably going to err on the safer side, make sure he gets his rest early as he's still trying to recover from that core-related injury.
The 2-2, that's out towards right field, off the bounce. Butler will play it. His throw in, and here comes Semien home. The ball cut off, 1-0. Texas Rangers off a Josh Smith RBI single. That's the kind of damage they can do to you when you get runners in scoring position.
Well, this is why I think Bruce Bochy feels like they're in a pretty good spot, depth-wise, maybe to sustain some of these early days off. And Semien with that leadoff double. Make sure it's through, it's down. Comes around no problem.
It's now 100 hits for the Texas Rangers as Wyatt Langford steps in the box 1-0. It's a team we saw with a lot of offense last year, Dallas. I know you saw it up close and personal in the 13 games that the A's faced the Rangers. They ended up losing 9 of those games. Of course, Texas going on to the postseason to win the World Series, but their offense was so powerful early. It was hard when you looked at their numbers coming into the series. You go, oh, they only have 10 home runs? Because this was a team that was out of the gate so fast last year.
Well, the man that led the game off with a double hadn't hit his first home run until he came to the Coliseum last season. So a little bit of a power outage to begin for Semien.
It's on the ground. Langeliers is going to try to get it to second and throws him out. Shea Langeliers with the quick reaction.
Well, you know Shea's looking to show out here in Texas. He's back home in Baylor territory. But I don't think Smith thinks he's out. He feels like he might have been able to get around the tag here. But how about Langeliers bouncing back there? And you can see that left hand initially moved via the swim move. But I think Smitty ends up coming off the bag, and a great job by Geloff to hang in there and keep the tag applied. Watch the tag on the foot. So no tag here. Tag applied right there.
Good heads-up play by Geloff indeed. That's on the ground, back towards Wood. He'll fill his position, and quickly, 2 outs.
Athlete.
Take a look at that defense behind Wood. In the grounder, Langeliers, of course, catching, as we just mentioned. Tyler Nevin is at first today. Zach Geloff at second. Nick Allen, shortstop with J.D. Davis at third. In the outfield from left to right, you got the Brown, Blade, and Butler show today. Brings up Dolis Garcia. It's the first time the Rangers have been caught stealing, by the way, this season.
Well, credit to Shea Langeliers. Like I said, Jenny, he's at home. I think he will always want to perform under the lights here in Texas, so I can understand why there might be some pep in his step.
And Garcia to the outfield. Underneath it, Butler. Well, the leadoff hitter, and Semien scored after he hit a double. Josh Smith drove him in. It's 1-0. The Sports app brought to you by Toyota. Scan the QR code now to start streaming. Look inside at Globe Life Field. Again, the roof closed today. Seen some weather outside. We'll see if it opens up at all this series as J.D. Davis leads off the top of a scoreless second. I'll take a strike from Nathan Eovaldi. 1-2.
Well, something to pay attention to really tonight and the remainder of this series, and just against the Rangers in general, is the work of Jonah Heim behind the plate. And one of their catching coaches, Bobby Wilson, has done a phenomenal job of preparing these guys, not only with information, but as the catching position has evolved. But they do a great job of just pitch presentation. There's the man at the tip of the spear, Bruce Bochy.
4 World Series as a manager. Number 3 with the San Francisco Giants. Came out of retirement to manage these Texas Rangers and win all the way. One hop to Nevin, backs up on him, or excuse me, to the first baseman in Duran. And one gone.
Well, time now for StatCast powered by Google Cloud. Going to take a look at the toolbox of the Texas native, Nathan Eovaldi. Splitter, yeah, you're going to see one of those, right along with that four-seam heater at about 100 miles an hour plus. He'll cut the baseball every now and then, drop a curveball in you, as we saw against J.J. Bleday. But it's that fastball split combo that he has ridden to superstardom.
So far, out of his 14 pitches, 5 have been splitters, and there's one more down the middle for Seth Brown. A 9-pitch first inning, 7 of those were in the zone. He's not going to mess around. That's in the air, skied high. Evan Carter will make the out. 2 gone.
And I think what you take away from a matchup like this, Jenny, is a couple of veterans in Eovaldi and Wood, who I think have a real appreciation for what it means to have a game plan and to go out there and execute and not be on the defensive as a pitcher, but go out there and try to attack a lineup. And I think you'll see both guys, you know, albeit arrive at their success maybe a little differently.
Over a dozen years of service time as Shea Langeliers fouls off the first offering. Langeliers trying to get back on track. He ended up walking in his final plate appearance. Just had the 1 hit in the Detroit series. The pitch launched out towards left field. It's going back, and it's gone. Shea Langeliers back on track indeed. Welcome home to Texas. The Oakland Athletics strike first with 2 outs here in the second. It's 1-0 off a Shea Langeliers homer. You said it, Dallas. He was feeling it coming into today.
Well, there's no doubt that he wants to perform. Sitting all over a split that just stayed about thigh high. Bang! Absolutely mollywopped.
Tyler Nevin, the batter now with 2 outs. That's outside for Shea. That feels so good. He had a day at the plate that he wants to forget just a couple days ago where he struck out 4 times. Trying to lock it in on the offensive front. And again, offense can be contagious, right? We saw this from Detroit. Guys at the top of the lineup doing their job. Middle of the order, maybe it's your series.
I was talking to Crony, Chris Crone, the hitting coach, and he mentioned just that. Said, Crony, it feels good to watch the boys go up to the plate with a little extra saliva hanging off their lip. And he said, yeah.
That's from the barbecue, Dallas. You know they serve that.
He said they're aggressive, and the success has just started to filter down throughout the whole lineup.
1-2, that's hit hard and right to the glove of Marcus Semien. Good news for the Oakland A's. They're playing with a lead here in Texas today. Compliments to the big swing of Shea Langeliers. 1-0 Oakland. Spangaliers getting to work, 1-1, and all of a sudden, that baseball just traveled a long way to lead off of the second. Jonah Heim with a homer, and back on top for the Texas Rangers, 2-1.
No waiting around, none at all. I told you both guys on the mound work quickly. They're here to get after it, and I think that kind of puts both offenses on guard. Jonah Heim, fastballs in real estate, Jenny. Location, location, location. Jonah Heim picked out a nice one right down Broadway.
So he scored to even it up and to give it right back. And fortunately for Alex Wood, he's going to have to go to work now against Ezekiel Duran. A Major League debut. And Davis Wenzel, and then Evan Carter, who of course can swing a big stick. Get that energy from the offense. You want to shut down inning as quick as you can, and one pitch and out. Get right back to it. Three and one now against Duran. Again, Wood coming off a start against Boston, 5 innings pitched, 7 strikeouts. He did have 96 pitches, and a little bit that had to do with that. There's a walk.
Well, Jenny, it's time now for our Nissan keys to the game. Turn the Texas two-step into the trio. That's right, they have lost 2 right here at the ballpark in Arlington at Globe Life. Let's make it 3. And Woody, just keep whittling away. We've talked a lot about the bounce-back efforts and him just trying to continue to make strides. Love to see that continue here against a Texas lineup that, without a doubt, is sort of waiting in the wings.
First pitch strike to the rookie, making his Major League debut. Davis Wenzel also went to Baylor, so I have a feeling Shea Langeliers had a little sick 'em for him when he came up to bat. Into the outfield, and one gone here in the bottom of the second.
Did you say wreck 'em?
No, I did not. Do you have any Texas Tech things you need to get off your chest?
At another time.
Evan Carter will be the batter now, facing Alex Wood. First pitch strike, getting ahead. Carter 5 for 29. You have to wonder how the big year went for him. Went all the way to the World Series. Drafted too many years before that. Climbed up through the minor leagues quickly. Kind of a whirlwind. We're seeing that with a lot of their farm system.
Well, I think organizations are giving more thought to how soon guys can impact the club. And I know there's a lot of conversation about guys maybe not making the club out of spring training. And I think we understand where those conversations lead and why. But to feel like you have youth that you can plug in sooner rather than later gives you a lot of hope. Especially when you've got those championship aspirations. You know just how many guys you're going to use and going to need over the course of a championship season. It's not just the 26 that you break camp with.
Here's the 3-1. And he got a late called strike. Wood'll take it. Carter will get back in on a full count.
Just clips the bottom of the zone. Good job by Langeliers to bring that back up.
And he struck him out looking. So getting right back in it for Alex Wood as Evan Carter returns to the bench.
Woody just whittling away. Dot me up, 90 on the black away. Can I help you, Carter? No, thanks. Just looking.
Bottom of the order, Leody Taveras, the hitter for the Rangers. 250 on the early season, swings at the first pitch. And Geloff will make the out. So the homer put the Rangers back on top at 2-1 here after 2.
can spend quality time on the field with your friends and family while enjoying a one-of-a-kind experience during our post-game fireworks shows. Tickets are available at athletics.com/fireworks.
And a first pitch strike low and inside to Lawrence Butler here to lead off the top of the third.
We got some fireworks here early in Arlington.
Absolutely, 2-1. Rangers leading the A's.
Jenny, I think this is a great matchup here for Lawrence Butler. Obviously, you've got horsepower, but you've got that devastating split that's been such a weapon, really, against both sides of the platoon. The reason I think it's a challenge for Butler, obviously, there's a few offerings here that Eovaldi could go with, but the high octane at the top, the split at the bottom, really, I think, gauges the discipline.
So here he goes, the 1-2, fouling back the fastball.
And I think that right there is what Lawrence Butler has to be prepared for, and that goes for everybody in this lineup, is that mistake right there. 1-2 at 95, really inner third, thigh high. He probably would like to elevate that a bit. Just got to be ready to be able to capitalize.
Butler coming off a multi-hit day where he came off the bench. He was a substitute for Brent Rooker, who left the game with abdominal soreness, and he remains day-to-day on the bench for Mark Kotze. Butler just making a fantastic catch in the outfield when he came in, and that translated to some great offense. See if we can keep it moving here on the 2-2. That's in the air towards center field. And Taveras with the catch, one gone. So it was a 9-pitch first inning. 13-pitch second inning for Nathan Eovaldi doing the work. Nick Allen comes up to round out the 9 for the A's. Look at Globe Life Field from that angle. I mean, it is wide. It's almost like they built this huge entertainment venue, and then they put a baseball field in the middle of it. Right? There's no access point from any of the seats in the stands to get on the field like a traditional baseball field. You'll see the walkway go all the way down. There's no access for the fans to get down. So they're well removed from the playing field, but they can get loud in here, especially when the roof is closed.
Well, and that's something to consider, the player experience, really. But the idea of leaning over into the stands to make a catch in foul territory or something like that, that just doesn't exist here. I think, with that being said, this has become a really nice place to take in a ball game. There's a lot going on just outside of the beautiful ballpark. Texas Live done a fantastic job.
What else is outside the ballpark? Dallas? Can't miss it.
Oh, it's
pretty big.
You talking about that little place where they play football?
That little tiny venue they play football over there?
Oh, it's a world.
Jerry's World.
A world all its own, Jenny.
Oh my goodness. And walk for Nick Allen. So with one out, one on, and now it's a word from Kia. So Nathan Eovaldi has a base runner for the first time. The other hit he gave up was a homer to Shea Langeliers, so he had to watch him trot around the bases, and now pitching with traffic here to Abraham Toro.
Well, that's a great job by Nick Allen to see some pitches, something that he hasn't done a ton of, but responsibility at the bottom of the lineup, find a way to get on by any means necessary. Able to turn it over here to Toro.
Well inside. So earlier today, Ryan Noda was scratched. He has a hand injury from batting practice, and it's unfortunate news because they were already basically without Brent Rooker. They're just trying to give him a little bit more time to get back from the abdominal soreness. And you had Noda on the bench with Nevin filling in, so just remind us that pitch was high and tight. Be careful, fellas.
That's it. We only got so much ice.
Pitch to Toro. 2-1.
Nick Allen has taken a few aggressive steps here. I'll count 2-1. It's not a fastball count, it's something, it's a fastball count, but if it's something down off speed, Allen might be able to, and it was. Let's take you back to Friday. Big blast from Toro. This is in Detroit off the left-hander Skubal. Got the party started loud and in a hurry, did Toro.
It was a game that the A's fell just shy. 5-4, built it in to 2 leads and a swing and a miss for Toro there. So 2 gone here in the third with Zach Geloff coming up.
'95 elevated. This is what Eovaldi does. When in doubt, goal number 1.
You can see the frustration on Toro's face for chasing up top. So Toro backed up the homer by getting the start in the series finale and going 2 for 4. Originally had a fielder's choice in there, and they changed it to a base hit, and all of a sudden Toro, who had no hits, has 3 hits on the season. Zach Geloff did some work right behind it. Mentioned the 4-hit day, but what was fun, Dallas, was right away the power out of the gate. We saw the speed with the triple, and then the home run came. Swing and a miss.
I think it's always exciting when you get that first leg of the cycle taken care of in the fashion he did with that triple, and the power came behind, as you mentioned. So it's almost like you get those first 2 out of the way, the 2 difficult ones, and you're glued to the TV for the next 2.5 hours.
Pitch low on the curveball. Final at bat. So great. It was definitely a single. I think we all knew it off the bat. Like, stretch it. He took a nice round turn at first base and got a huge cheesy smile for the dugout as they were all giving him grief, he said. How's it back to stay alive?
Well, here you go. This is how the day started. Triple down the line. Then it was a lift-off long ball situation. Double the other way. Excuse me, that was a single. And that was the would-be double we were thinking about.
Cycles are cool, but you'll take a 4 for 5 with 4 RBI and win.
Oh, all day. All day.
2-2, and Allen was taken off as Geloff fouled it off. Back to first for Nick. All right, just getting that timing down over there.
Well, look, if it's a situation where you've got a good read, you get a good jump. Should that split bounce in the dirt, you got Nick Allen on second base.
Full count coming for Geloff with 2 outs and JJ Bleday on deck. Allen will take off here. And Geloff goes down swinging. Back-to-back punch-outs. That's 4 on the day for Nathan Eovaldi after his 3. Bottom of the third coming up. Bottom of the third we go, back to the top of the order for the Texas Rangers as Marcus Semien's in, and first pitch changeup for a strike from Alex Wood.
Jenny, this could very well be the quickest at bat in baseball history. With Alex Wood, the way he gets it and goes, you notice Marcus Semien not interested at all in leaving the box. Tom Hanahan, turn around. You're gonna have to call this next pitch.
Like the pitch clock just started 2 seconds ago, and all of a sudden you have a single. So Marcus Semien reaching both times he's up, first a double, and now a single for his day.
Well, not a bad start to the series for Semien, who coming into this was 0 for his last 8. You can see Semien just kind of cutting the plate in half here, and something I think if you just kind of take a look at the way things have gone for Marcus Semien and what you know about him and the track record, I think early on you can see not afraid to use the entire field.
Scores around a bunt for Josh Smith. That's back towards no man's land for Alex Wood. He dives to stop the ball, but now he has runners on first and second. Kind of dove awkwardly there, Dallas.
Yeah, a little bit. And what happens here is you're caught in between. You're caught in that no man's land, that tweener that we work on in spring training, because there's just no amount of verbal or non-verbal communication. You can see Woody just never quite had his feet underneath him to begin. It's up getting some leather on it. But I think all things considered, you're just glad that he's able to get up and walk away from that.
Well, he has such long limbs, it almost looked like he was ready to reach his glove out to just put a stop to the ball and realize the speed of the ball was going to get past him, so then has to grab it and barehand it, and just landed awkwardly there.
Well, yeah, he's trying to make a decision. Am I going to be able to get the glove to this? Is this something that I'm going to have somebody else come get? Nevin, you get this?
It's a Dwight Langford. There's talk about the 22-year-old possibly getting a call-up in 2023 towards the end of the season. Chris Young, the general manager, almost pulled the trigger. So if you can imagine getting that call as your team's on the hunt to get to the postseason and ends up going all the way to win a World Series. Instead, he's watching from home going, oh my goodness, I could be a part of this team. And for the University of Florida product, it was drafted 4th overall by the Rangers in 2023. It would have been a pretty quick leap up to the big league level. Instead, he'll take a walk here, and bases will be loaded with nobody out. And for Langford, it was surefire during spring training he was going to make this team.
Well, a little bit of a spot here for Alex Wood. Langelier's going to come out and kind of slow things down a bit for a guy who likes to work quick. I think it's a good job by Shea just to kind of, again, slow the train down, make sure you got a good idea of what you want to do to Garcia here. Talking about first pitch selection, is this going to be a fastball attack plan? We're going to try to spin it, maybe see if we can't expose his aggressiveness or get an idea of what Garcia is looking to do. And Jenny, this is where watching the way a guy maybe takes a pitch might be able to give you a little bit of information as well. Should you execute off speed in the zone, but he can't quite pull the trigger, maybe he's diving a little bit.
We saw Adolis Garcia do damage in October. He's at the plate now with bases loaded and nobody out. 4 home runs already on this young season for Garcia.
Well, that's about as good of a pitch as I think Alex Wood could have delivered.
4 career grand slams and a .389 average.
Well, that's just in 36 career at-bats with the bases loaded. 4 grand slams.
He's a showman. We saw that again in the postseason. A guy that's not afraid of the big moment. Getting ahead 0-2 has to feel, again, best case scenario for Alex Wood and Shea Langeliers. What pitch you like here, Dallas?
Well, you got 0-2. He could probably expand. Nothing to give him. Yep. Go back to April. That's one of them. Garcia had himself a day. That's 2. Folks, he was not done eating. 3 long balls from Adolis Garcia.
That's right back towards Alex Wood, a double play, and it is huge play for Alex Wood.
Roll it up, Woody. And that right there is exactly how you draw it up if you're Alex Wood and the Athletics. Weak little tapper right back at you. What do? Give it up to Langoliers, who does a great job of holding the plate. Fire to Nev. Let's get 2 for the price of 1.
A double play, 1, 2, 3, and all of a sudden a different story here in the third. You had bases loaded, no outs. Now you have 2 runners in scoring position for Jonah Heim.
It's bases loaded, nobody out, working your way through the meat and potatoes.
Big swing and miss.
Just a great job to see Woody right away. Get rid of it. See him throwing a bit of a dart there. Get the job done.
Credit Alex Wood, because you're sitting there in a situation where they thought you might have a ground ball out off the bunt of Josh Smith. Keep it a sacrifice. Instead, it turns into an infield bunt. Wood wasn't able to get anywhere near it, and all of a sudden, calm, cool, and collected there. 1 and 2, and the big strikeout from Alex Wood. Getting out of a big jam in the third. Still 2-1, Rangers.
MLBshop.com. Check out the largest selection of official jerseys, caps, t-shirts, collectibles, and more. You can gear up with your Athletics at MLBshop.com.
Well, what a big half inning for Alex Wood. Got out of a jam, bases loaded jam with no outs. Doesn't allow a Ranger to score and keeps it a 1-run ball game as J.J. Bleday leading it off here in the fourth, followed by J.D. Davis and Seth Brown.
Yeah, that's about as big of a half inning as you could have here. I mean, in a situation where you're facing, as I said, the daunting part of this lineup, there's a lot of power lurking. And Alex Wood and Langoliers a phenomenal job of navigating that.
It's fouled into the Rangers dugout. Everyone looks okay.
And Jenny, I think it should be said, you know, because you go back to the debut of Shea Langoliers right here at home. Had a great series, threw a couple guys out, long ball, flashed the power. And now you fast forward, and I think you get an idea of the maturity that we've seen him undergo. And just having the wherewithal to roll out and say, hey, Woody, we're in a bit of a spot here. See if we can't kind of reel it in. How do you want to go about this? Just the wherewithal to have that moment of presence and go out and have that conversation and steer the veteran back into his lane.
in the air for Bleday to right field. Carter will come in and one gone. Bats did a good job against Nathan Eovaldi, the game plan at least. In the third inning, you say why? 4 batters up, a walk, and 2 strikeouts, but it was the amount of pitches that they made him throw. 24 pitches in that inning after he'd been cooking. So in a way, slows him down, taking at bats where they're seeing a little bit more, trying to get more comfortable.
Well, and look, in reality, he hadn't been in the stretch. Right, second inning, the homer from Langoliers, that's 3 left turns, and you get right back into the windup. So it's the great at bat from Nick Allen. We talked about trying to turn that lineup over.
Swing and a miss.
Oh.
Splitter. Might have split something else.
Jonah Heim.
Not feeling good.
Nope. All that gear. Oh, right off inside of his left leg. And you can just see all the exposure there with that one knee down.
19 out of the 54 pitches have been that splitter. You mentioned it. You'll see it featured more than the fastball at times. And that so far is the case today here in the 4th. Goes right back to it.
Well, and what makes it so devastating, Jenny, is he's had the ability to move that pitch around. For some guys, that split is just a grip and rip type of offering. They might not necessarily feel like they've got complete command over the ball, maybe to one side of the plate or the other. But I think Eovaldi, and it's been shown, he knows how to move that ball wherever he needs, strikes on purpose, balls on purpose with that split. I mean, it's a devastator.
Here's the 2-2 to Davis, and that's outside. So a patient AB gets a full count coming for the 4-hole hitter today. Davis leads the team in total bases, 17 of those so far this season, and now a walk. So a 1-out walk. We saw this same scenario in the 3rd. And Dallas, you mentioned it. He had to pitch out of the stretch for the first time. Ended up inducing strikeouts with Abraham Toro and Zach Geloff. And now Seth Brown is going to try and at least advance the runner here. Brown ended the last 2 games in Detroit with 3 total hits. He only had 2 going in to that second game against the Tigers.
Well, we both talked about how nice it was to see Brownie, be left in and given the opportunity to square off against the left-hander, and he ends up coming through, drives in the first run of the season for the A's with a runner at second base via a single.
Miss, and he'll head back to the A's dugout. 2 gone, 5 strikeouts for Eovaldi.
Well, it's kind of that double-edged sword against a guy like Eovaldi, right? You want to get him into the stretch, get him uncomfortable, but Jenny, that's where you have to make your big pitches, is out of the stretch. And it feels like this is a guy who has proven he knows how to ratchet it up, focus, aim small, miss small in the big moment.
First pitch strike to Shea Langoliers at 96. He took a baseball 404 to left field. Here's the 0-1 and a curveball to miss.
We'll go back to the second inning. Loud noise for Langoliers.
Second home run of the year for Shea, and now you're looking at the kind of 10-game marker that the A's just passed, and you're starting to feel a big difference, right, heading into these next 10, if you want to group them that way. The offense clicking on a much different level. We've had multiple guys with home runs. For a minute there, it was just J.D. Davis carrying the torch with his multi-homer game he had, but get some power spread throughout the lineup, and a swing and a miss there as Langeliers goes down, stranding J.D. Davis at first. Another pair of punch-outs here for Eovaldi, 2-1 Rangers.
Four dealers, sometimes you just got to be a bulldog, and that's exactly what Alex Wood was back in the third inning. Bags, juice, nobody out. Roll it up tight is what he did, and got himself right out of that big spot. Phenomenal job by the left-hander. We'll go to work now here in the bottom of the fourth. Rangers up 2-1. See if Woody can't continue to whittle away.
2-1 Rangers lead the Athletics, and Ezekiel Duran will lead it off here in bottom of the fourth, and he's just getting right around the zone and catching some called strikes. Quickly getting ahead 0-2.
Virginia, that's a byproduct of a couple different things. One, working quickly, but if you are in and around the strike zone, I think you have the man back there starting to hunt the strike, right? And I think that's kind of where they've got both Eovaldi and Wood. That's where they have Mr. Hanahan right now, is looking for the strikes. And I think the game of baseball is in a much better spot. I think the product itself, when you have folks looking for the action, as well as guys out there working the way that these two men are.
Inside 2-2. Duran staying alive, fouling it back. Walked in his first plate appearance after the Jonah Heim homer that made it 2-1. Foul tip. Foul ball will keep him in the box. Heather, was there a good catch over there? Was you catching the action? I heard it.
Well, that ball had an extended life. Kept going and going.
Like this at bat. Pitch 8 coming up for the Wood battle against Duran.
Well, this is a count where, 2-2, it's not like you're looking to spoil one. You don't want to just misfire. You want to be competitive. Duran giving him fits.
It's going to go foul as well. close to that spot that he's gotten a couple called strikes and now a full count.
Well, we'll see if he decides to go back to it. That was a little backdoor slider. Thinking maybe Durant gives up on it out of the hand. You can see Alex Wood, the frustration right now with the baseballs.
Misses there, so frustrated indeed with a leadoff walk, and now all leadoff batters in the inning have reached or scored. Well, when you take a look at the rotation, we're now beginning the third time through the order with Alex Wood back up top. The first 5 starts, their very first go of the season, a 6.40 ERA. They allowed 38 runs. 2 of those were earned. Remember all the errors at the beginning of the season? Well, everyone has cleaned it up the second time through the rotation, down to a 2.15 ERA. They allowed 12 runs, 11 of those earned, 40 strikeouts. The strikeouts went out, but the walks went way down. The 23 walks for the starters through the first 5 compared to the last 5, just 13 walks. Small sample size on the season, but it's always good to compare what the group does as a rotation each time through, because ultimately, Dallas, the idea is to make each other better, right? Pass the baton, and this is the guy that's supposed to set the tone for all of that at the top of the rotation.
And it was really nice to see he and, again, Ross Stripling rebound. You've gotten what you've gotten from Paul Blackburn, so that's starting to happen.
0-2 to Wenzel. That's out towards center field. Bleday will take a couple steps to his left, and one gone. Wenzel in his major league debut has given it a ride a few times and returned to the dugout. We'll bring up the lefty in Evan Carter. Struck out looking back in the second.
Much like we've seen with Zach Geloff and the patience from the young guys. For Carter, he's got 9 walks, team highs, tied for 2nd in the American League, most among rookies. And when you think about the discipline, to see that he swung at just 18% of the pitches outside of the strike zone, it's the 8th lowest O swing, which is chase rate.
Umpire walking out now with Shea Langoliers. You can see Wood kind of kicking around his feet, and unfortunately that bring out the training staff and Mark Kotze.
Well, I think it looks like it may be the calf. Just kind of watching him talk to Jeff Collins. It's Jeff Collins there at the top of the mound, head athletic trainer. See Woody maybe trying to walk it off, maybe stretch it out a bit. You got to remember, it's a little warmer here than it has been in Detroit in the last week or so. Take a look at that last pitch. You can see him grimace a bit. Yeah, calf. Come on out, let's talk about it. But the idea of the weather, maybe zapping you a bit. You can see he's sweating through these brand new jerseys.
Remember when the jerseys had their moment for all the controversy, and then just kind of got mixed up with some other big-time news in Major League Baseball right now. Hopeful for Wood. We did see him chase down a bunt back in the 3rd from Josh Smith. I wonder if that has anything to do with it, the build, but looks like they're going to leave him in.
Yep, see Woody give him the thumbs up. I'm ready to go. I'm good. Here we go. And you can just tell by the look of the jersey there, a couple different shades of gray.
A lot of sweat. Here's that play we're talking about where he was going for that ground ball, and kind of see he extended out a bit. Who knows if that's going to happen on, but Dallas, I do think your point of the sweat potentially just be a cramp that you have to work through.
Yeah, like I said, Jenny, it's not quite 50 shades, maybe just 2 or so, but the difference in grays obvious.
We saw a double play. Really helped him out with bases loaded. Could use that here with 1 out. Facing Evan Carter, 2-2. That's on the ground to J.D. Davis. He'll backhand it and go across the diamond for the out. It was a close play. And now Nevin will run it in and keep an eye on Duran at second.
Well, looks like Bruce Bochy's going to say, go ahead and keep it moving. J.D. Davis goes to the backhand. Really didn't even look over at second base, was first base the entire time, able to get Carter by just a step, really half step. Nathaniel Lowe thought he was safe. Nathaniel Lowe would be wrong.
Nathaniel Lowe still on the IL, had that strained right oblique. We saw him take some live batting practice today as that pitch was inside to Leody Taveras.
And I might add that Nathaniel Lowe was putting some pretty good swings on the baseball.
He was.
As well.
So the last time he swung was 5 weeks ago to live pitching. So if that was the first go, can you imagine the direction his offense is going to go and how helpful he could be to Bruce Bochy's squad when he's able to get healthy and get back. Looks like Mitch Spence is warming up. There's the 2-0, that's swung on, and Nevin will go into foul territory. And the A's will get out of it after a lead-off walk. We'll keep an eye on Alex Wood. Hopefully he's okay after the calf. 2-1 Rangers.
Friday night game. Grab 4 tickets and parking with the Friday 4-pack. Starting at just $49, you can pick from all the fun things happening this season, including great matchups, post-game fireworks, and drone shows, giveaways, and a whole lot more. Friday night tickets available at athletics.com/value.
Tyler Nevin leading it off for the A's. 1-0 from Nathan Eovaldi. His swing and miss stuff going once again today. In the air towards right field, charging in. Carter will make the play. And Semyonov, one gone.
Well, Eovaldi's just one of those guys, Jenny. It feels like you wake up and it's 0-2, and you know you're facing a guy like him. But it's just, I think, something else to take note of. We have seen Eovaldi multiple times get rid of baseball after baseball. Not pleased with it. We've seen the same thing from Alex Wood tonight.
Brings up Lawrence Butler. Take a look and didn't go. 1-0.
neither guy too terribly happy with the feel of the ball. And you can see Eovaldi as he got that ball back right now, watching him from where we're sitting, not terribly pleased with it.
Pitch 70 coming for Eovaldi. You ever gone through one of those games?
Oh, have we? You hate to make excuses because that's what you feel like when you're out there maybe pointing out that it could be something other than your physical miscues or your inability to repeat. And I think folks can understand that. But if you can't feel the ball, or if the ball just feels drastically different every time you grab a new baseball, I mean, you spend a lot of time out there second guessing and worrying about things.
It's in the air. Shallow in the outfield, and a couple steps back for Josh Smith, 2 gone. Now a word from Jack in the Box.
My $6.99 popcorn chicken combos are back. They've returned. They're here. I think you get the point.
Welcome to Jack in the Box.
Well, 2 gone, and that brings up Nick Allen. Got a walk back in the 3rd. 1 hit allowed from Nathan Eovaldi today, and it produced 1 run from the bat of Shea Langeliers. Eovaldi coming off again the World Series and dominating performances. In fact, he does that in the postseason. 11-1 in 12 postseason appearances throughout his career. Best team record in any pitcher's playoff starts ever. Is that a cool thing to own or what?
Well, he's an absolute animal. I think we all remember his outing back in Los Angeles with Chavez Ravine. Just a heroic effort.
It's a 1-2 on the ground, and Smith will scoop it up over to Duran, and 3 up, 3 down on the top of the 5th. It's still 2-1, Rangers lead. Credit Union. Go to NBCSportsCalifornia.com/AST or scan the QR code to check out Pamela Lynn McAllister of Albany High School, as well as the other finalists, and vote for your all-star teacher. The grand prize winning teacher school will receive $30,000. Go ahead and vote now. Well, there's a look at AT&T Stadium next door to Globe Life Field. A lot of real estate happening in these parts. And the pitcher for the Oakland A's. So Alex Wood, his day's done after 4 innings, and Mitch Spence takes over. And Marcus Semien up, back to the top of the order for the Rangers. Well, when it's time for a change, think Speedy Oil Change and Auto Service, your trusted oil change, tune-up, and repair experts.
Jenny, we last saw Mitch Spence against Boston.
Let's head out towards the shallow outfield, and Nick Allen will make the play. So Alex Wood done after 4. You think it might be the calf?
I think it's probably the calf. 67 pitches. We talked about the weather here and the shift from what we were dealing with in Detroit to now. Things just a little warmer. You saw him sweating profusely, so I can imagine, you know, maybe a little bit of a dehydration situation as well.
First pitch swing for Josh Smith on the ground to Nevin, over to Spence, and a bang-bang play. He's out. Spence getting there just in time and gets the foot on the bag. 2 gone.
Well, it's a great job by Tyler Nevin. Just an outstanding effort to get around this baseball here. It's a tapper pulled from a lefty, but you can see Nev work his way all the way around the ball, and that's in an effort to give himself this angle to go ahead and give a toss. He was trying to lead Spence. Spence does a great job of just being an athlete and reaching back, grabbing that ball, and finishing the play off.
Got you time to get that in. All right, Langford up, and that catches the zone on the cutter. 0-1. Talked about Langford, his much anticipated Major League debut that happened this year for the Rangers. How about Jackson Holliday for the Baltimore Orioles? Reports just coming in that they have called him up. Top draft pick from a couple years ago will make his Major League debut soon. That ball's on the ground, and Davis coming in. Doesn't have a play at first. That slow tapper gives Langford an infield single.
Well, and this is something we have already come to know about Wyatt Langford, is he can pick him up and put him down with the best of them. Hot out of the box from the right side. J.D. Davis thought better of it. He was not going to have a play. See that full swing? Ball just kind of topped over to him.
Brings up Adolis Garcia, pitch outside. And we talk about the speed. Home to first, 4.27 seconds. So that 90 feet was an exceptional run. That means in the 95th percentile in Major League Baseball. .5 feet per second. You want to race him?
No, I'm good. I mean, do I get a head start? We'll talk about it. But, you know, it's just one of those tools. As they say, speed never slumps.
Check the runner, speaking of that speed.
He's out there.
Hasn't attempted a stolen base yet this season. On the ground, back up the middle, and the play will be at second. So the quick hustle of Zach Geloff, he steps on the bag, and the fielder's choice gets him out of it. 2-1 Rangers after 5.
has come to town to take on your A's for the only time this season. Head down to the ballpark for a 3-game set starting this Friday, April 12th through Sunday, April 14th. You won't want to miss it, so grab your tickets right now at athletics.com/tickets.
Brings us to the top of the 6th here at Globe Life Field. Back to the top of the order in Abraham Toro. Eovaldi getting ahead. We just played deep in the heart of Texas, as they do. After the 5th inning, always a fun little jig, if you will.
Yes, it is.
Here in Arlington, and it reminds me of the guy on the hill. I'm sure he loves it, being an Alvin, Texas native. Think of Alvin, Texas, you think of Nolan Ryan.
Yeah.
Nolan Ryan made an opening day start here in 1992. And guess who got to make the opening day start here this year? That guy. Pretty special moment as he strikes out Abraham Toro for the 2nd time tonight.
Well, and Nolan Ryan is on the record talking about how exciting and how much fun he has watching Eovaldi go about his business. Now, could you imagine growing up in the same town as that fellow right there, the living legend that is the Ryan Express? And if you have not seen it, folks, I don't know what the heck you've been doing. Call me, I'll give you the password. We can share it. Heck, we might even watch it together. Facing Nolan.
Oh, it's so good.
Oh.
Here's the 1-0 to Zach Geloff in their first strike. Eovaldi said some of his earliest baseball memories, of course, revolves around knowing who Nolan Ryan is, but he wasn't even in preschool when Nolan Ryan finished up his career with the Rangers in '93.
Yeah, but I tell you, if you've spent any time in Texas, and I can bet if you grow up in Texas, you are put to bed with fairy tales about Nolan Ryan.
Absolute legend. 2-2. Geloff 2 strikeouts tonight. And he puts that in play, and base hit for Zach Geloff.
That's a great piece of hitting there from Zach Geloff. Eovaldi's just been force-feeding that split-finger fastball to this Oakland lineup. They've had enough. But Geloff here on time for 96. And you love to see him use the other way.
Opposite field hit, the first hit since Shea Langolier's home run. Gone J.J. Bleday up, and they'll check Geloff.
Jenny with that hit from Geloff. Some folks now starting to move around just a bit, stretch out in that Ranger bullpen. Eovaldi set to deliver pitch number 87.
So nice there on the splitter. Here's a look at the 2023 postseason. 5-0 Dallas. I mean, they counted on him just about every other game, it felt like. They're ready to go, arm fresh, put him out there.
Well, and you're talking about record-setting performances.
Pitch game 1 and game 5 in the World Series. Game 1 gave up a bunch of runs. They ended up getting the win still. In game 5, dominant.
Well, he became the first pitcher in history to win 5+ starts in a single postseason. I mean, just the 4th ever to earn 5 wins in a postseason. That's posting up.
There's the 1-2 coming for Bleday, and that's going to hit the outfield. Geloff around second, heading to third. And first and third opportunity here in the 6th. Back-to-back hits for the A's.
Well, Bleday, you can see Heim flash the glove up. Can tell not quite as elevated as he would have liked. again, the A's starting to string a little something together here. That ball up that right center alley. Yeloff easily over to third base. And Mike Maddox out to kind of chit-chat with his big gun.
That'll bring up J.D. Davis with one out and runners on the corner. Xfinity keeps A's fans in the zone with a connection you can rely on. Stream sports from the best seat in the house with Xfinity, because it's only live once. For Bleday, too, he just reached his 500th at bat back in the first inning here. And so you start to take a look at the body of work and you realize, right, sometimes how young J.J. Bleday is still in a measure of what a year's worth of at-bats is now under his belt.
And I think just watching him get more and more comfortable at the plate, you understand why he's been penciled in there the majority of the time so far.
J.D. Davis walked his last plate appearance. Now looking to do the damage. A's trail by one here in the sixth. Pitch outside. One pitches here for Nathan Eovaldi. And a fastball. Yeloff at third, Bleday at first. High 3-1.
Well, this is where you'd like to see J.D. Davis come through the way the lineup did against Texas. At a lack of production with runners in scoring position, they kind of cleaned that up against Detroit.
It's fouled off. Davis has hit safely in 7 of his 9 games that he's played this year. 9 hits and looking for another, and a swing and a miss. Strikes out on the full count. That's retired.
Well, another fastball right at the top of the strike zone. Tough to lay off, even tougher to get to.
A couple punch outs upstairs today. Again, 8 for Eovaldi. One steps out, you see Bochy. He's going to come out, and it looks like he's going to make a pitching change with 2 outs, 2 on here in the 6th, and Seth Brown up to bat. So Eovaldi will be done here after 5 and 2.
presented by authority of the Oakland Athletics and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form. And the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the Athletics Investment Group, LLC.
Top of the sixth, 2 outs, runners on the corner for David Robertson coming out of the bullpen. Bruce Bochy went to a righty to face the lefty and Seth Brown.
That right-hander is that man right there, David Robertson. 5 unscathed appearances for the right-hander so far. Jenny, I just wonder if Bruce Bochy might be thinking about Robertson taking care of Seth Brown here. See Boch barking. There's a good chance you can see Robertson back out there for the next half inning.
Swing miss there, 2-1.
There's a line for the Fireballer, 5 2/3, 1 earned run, 2 walks, 8 strikeouts.
2-2.
Jenny, for Robertson last year, 62 appearances. And there were only 8 of them that were of the 4 out or more variety.
And swing and a miss for Seth Brown. So Robertson comes in and gets the job done with runners on for the A's. 2-1, Rangers. It's worth staying up tonight to be prepared for tomorrow. NBC Bay Area News at 11. Back here in Arlington, Mitch Spence continues to work in the bottom of the sixth, and Heim fouls it off. 2-1. A's had a scoring threat, and it ended because of the bullpen that came in. So Valdi's line complete at the 5 2/3 innings. Here's the 0-2. On the ground, Nevin will toss it over, and the 3-1 is the first out.
Well, if you're Mitch Spence, just trying to come in and be that bridge to the latter stage of this ball game. fine job thus far.
Spence, the Rule 5 draft pick from the Yankees organization. Swing and a miss from Ezekiel Duran. And with a pair of walks on the day, and it's going to go out of play. A Rangers team that didn't win the AL West. It came down to the very end, and Houston took the divisional crown last year, but 90 wins got them in the postseason, and then they went to work. We've seen the expanded playoffs work in the favor of some of those lower seeds the last couple of years. We'll see if that continues on to be the case. There's Arizona, the 6th seed from the National League side, is who the Rangers beat.
Well, we've talked about the success that the Texas Rangers have had against the A's recently, which also, might take it as a little feather in your cap. You consider how the division ended for the Rangers. Figure, well, maybe you'll consider that one game you beat them to be the one game that kept them away from their divisional aspirations.
Yeah, the A's were 4-9 against them last year, so one of those 4 wins made a difference.
It mattered.
So there you go. They just hung the banner in their first homestand, and they got rings that I really thought more guys would end up on the IL with like tendonitis of the wrist or like a broken finger. These things are huge.
Yeah, 5 ounces. 5 ounces. The exact weight of a baseball.
A lot of detail to them as well. Here's the pitch. Did not go.
Ooh.
Get him a bite on the slider. It looks close.
Borderline. Ran 2 walks on the evening already.
Here's the 2-2 from Spence. Full count coming, seen it a couple times tonight. Alex Wood got himself in a few of those counts. Walked a few, then Alex Wood 4 innings. Gave up the 2 runs off 5 hits. That's in the air towards left field. It's going back, and Brown will make the catch. 2 gone.
Well, they hang banners when you win it all, when you're the last team standing. That would be where the Texas Rangers found themselves. Game 5, time to pop bottles. Been a long time coming for Rangers fans. Got to enjoy it right here in the new ballpark. How fitting.
Brings up the Baylor product, Davis Wenzel. His major league debut. Left to center field a couple times. That's up the middle. Geloff will cut off Allen and make the out. Got over to the left side. 3 up, 3 down for Mitch Spence.
Full coverage cam. Bangaliers, the man in the middle. Baylor style. He likes the ballpark here in Arlington. There is no doubt about that. Love to see Shea get into another one here. He's trailing 2-1. We enter the 7th inning.
Let's hit out towards center field and far. Did it? It did! Shea Langeliers loves this ballpark. All tied up at 2 apiece. Langeliers 2, the Rangers 2.
David Robertson with a look of perplexion on his face. How in the, what in the? That is now his 3rd 2-homer game for the Baylor Bear.
About a little Texas two-step. Grew up coming to a lot of Rangers games. It's the uniform he imagined himself playing in. Now he's just doing all the damage against the Rangers. New life for the Oakland A's, all tied up here in the 7th.
Well, take a look at where this pitch was. Just a hanger up and out. And Langeliers parked it.
Langeliers 3 home runs on the season. Taking over for the home run leader.
Let's take a look. So powerful. Stay fair. Stay fair.
427 was the distance, 109.7 off the bat. It's the hardest hit ball in the game so far. 1-2 to Nevin, and he stays alive.
They're doing a good job of battling here.
Tyler Nevin, a late add to the lineup today after Ryan Noto was scratched injuring his hand in batting practice. It's on the ground up the middle. It'll take a bouncer. Simeon will glove it and over to first. Nevin retired. It'll bring up Lawrence Butler. Robertson will regroup and face the lefty. So brought him in against the lefty and Seth Brown. He got the final out of the 6th, and here Lawrence Butler sends one out to center field. Tavares will make the out. So get the lefty, leave him in to face the righties, and damage done from Shea Langeliers. There's a look at Ryan Noda. Hopefully he's going to be okay. They did take x-rays today, and Mark Kotze said those were negative, so we'll have to continue monitoring him.
Well, that is a great sign.
Here's the pitch to Nick Allen. That catches the outside, and 0-1. Coming in, Dallas, you thought it might be a day, especially from the beginning of this game. A lot of quick work from the starters. You're going to see them both maybe go deep, get into it, and now all of a sudden, this one's going to come down to the bullpen, all tied up.
Yeah, and I think both starters, for the most part, have done exactly what we expected. Quick work, efficient work. But Eovaldi out of there in the 6th. And unfortunately, Woody had that calf kind of jump up and grab him a little, and he gave way to Mitch Spence in the 5th. Mitch Spence has done a fantastic job. And Robertson on, trying to quiet the storm. Bruce Bochy felt like I could let him go and get the lefty, bring him back out, and hopefully take care of 3 more outs, but it just has not worked out that way.
2-2. Thought about it and he went around. So a frustrated Nick Allen throws down the bat and the helmet, but the home run counts. Shea Langeliers getting his work done here in Texas. 2-2, all tied up, middle of 7th.
The ballpark on Monday, April 15th, and we take on the St. Louis Cardinals on the day that marks Jackie Robinson's historic Major League Baseball debut. Get to the ballpark early to secure a special Jackie Robinson Night t-shirt. You can grab your tickets today at athletics.com/tickets.
Just the 3rd career appearance for Mitch Spence out of the bullpen after making his Major League debut earlier this year against Cleveland. And 2 innings of work. He'll go to work here in the 7th against Evan Carter. It's out towards right center field, traveling far, and it's going to leave the ballpark. So much like the first Shea Langeliers home run, it was answered here in the 7th and back on top for the Texas Rangers, 3-2.
A little bit of a slugfest.
Home run of the season for Evan Carter.
Oh, just a little slider that stays hittable. Evan Carter, left-hander, drops the head.
Evan Carter had 5 home runs last year. In his young season, 23 games played with Texas, leading into the postseason run.
Well, I think this is why they are so high on it, on top of a lot of other reasons. But again, you make a mistake at this level, it's going to get punished regardless of where you're at in the lineup. Leadoff guy, 9-hole. That's what Evan Carter just did.
Spence 0-2 to Leody Taveras. And he got him to swing and miss, gets away, and Langeliers will throw down to Nevin, 1 gone. Spence bounces back with a strikeout and back to the top of the order. Marcus Semien coming up. In his debut, Spence went 3 innings, had 56 pitches, sitting here. Pitch 29 on the ground. Allen to Nevin, 2 gone.
Well, a guy that Mark Kotsay feels good about giving some extended looks. You need multiple innings of work out of the bullpen. We have talked a lot about this group here, Jenny, specifically being a group I think that would be better served getting comfortable with the responsibility of multiple innings worth of work every time they take the baseball.
Josh Spence also swinging at the first pitch, fouls it off. Tony Beasley throw it over to the ball boy for a souvenir. And 2.
So you have Carter talking about what the pitch looked like, maybe what he was looking for, talking to left-handed teammate Jared Walsh.
And a timeout called from Josh Smith.
There's double A.
Austin Adams getting ready to do his job.
Saw Austin in the game, checking out the eclipse.
The guys spent their off day making sure, grabbed a pair of glasses and headed outside. It's pretty cool here. That's how the Rangers took it in at the ballpark. Got the full view. They opened the roof for that, Dallas.
Well, not a bad place to take that in. Decent lawn.
There's the 0-2. Rays have found themselves in a 1-run game position 4 of the first 10 games this season. Unfortunately, they've ended up on the losing side of those, trying to get over the hump here, but trailing by 1 after the answered home runs. First, it was Jonah Heim that answered Shea Langeliers. Took the lead in a tied ball game, and after Langeliers tied it up in the top of the 7th, Evan Carter answered the bell. So towards center field, charging for it. Bleday will cut off Seth Brown and got out of it. The home run did the damage. The Rangers ahead 3-2.
That's right, Treehouse Happy Hours are back this season, so come on out to the ballpark at 4:30 p.m. before each Friday night home game. We got drink specials, we got games, we got a DJ, a whole lot more. And fans, you can enter the Treehouse through L-Gate for all ballpark gates open to join the fun. So visit athletics.com/happy hour to learn more about it.
Time running out back here in Arlington, top of the 8th, top of the order. Abraham Toro facing the new pitcher in Kirby Yates out of the pen. When it's time for a change, think Speedy Oil Change and Auto Service, your trusted oil change, tune-up, and repair experts.
Some decent numbers there early on for Kirby Yates, just his 4th game of the season. So 3 punch-outs, no free passes.
One now to Toro, and I love the rocking chairs. Let's call the game from up there tomorrow.
That is a great look.
Booth.
That's a great look.
It's awesome. Doesn't get more Texas than that. Right by the barbecue joint, rocking it out. Got your overalls on.
That's it, overalls.
Deep in the heart.
Rocking chair.
Love it. It's easy living. Here's the 1-2 to Toro. On the ground, up the middle, coming over is Smith, and held the play at first. So 1 gone. Zach Geloff here in the top of the 8th. Well, we just saw David Robertson out of the pen, Kirby Yates as well, both free agent signings for Chris Young this offseason. The bullpen, they wanted to upgrade it, make sure they locked it down. Also signed Jose Urena, who they've seen have a bounce-back season so far after a couple of poor years, most recently Colorado and with the White Sox. Bullpen really struggled in April, May, even into June. Never thought that was a team that could make it all the way to the World Series. You see Michael Kelly warming up for the Oakland A's.
And that was part of the conversation around the Rangers.
That's on the ground, backhanded, and with a bounce up and a trip over first. You hope Geloff's okay. He'll get up and credit the hustle and the play of Smith.
Well, in a bit of an awkward incident, just because you can see Duran start to back up and spend a ton of time over there, just ends up stepping right into the running lane. And you've got Zach Geloff, who is not a little fella by any stretch, booking it hard down the line. So you can understand why Geloff probably a little frustrated that there's contact there. Again, Duran, he's not over there at first base a whole lot.
0-1 to J.J. Bleday.
So at times you'll see guys kind of stretch out and go try to pick a ball like that, but Duran decided to back up, maybe give himself a shot at getting a better hop. Here's what we're talking about. Smith with a great effort, but instead of that left foot coming out, it actually takes a step back, and that's exactly what Geloff landed on, was the left foot of Duran. So it probably didn't feel great for Duran, but Geloff hit the ground hard.
Well, Duran has been bouncing around. Josh Young fractured his wrist, the third baseman. He's be down 8 to 10 weeks. Justin Foscue came up, made his major league debut, had a couple ABs, and goes on the IL. That's not the way you want to start your major league career. Ended up having an oblique, and that's why you're seeing Davis Wenzel make his major league debut today. Running through a couple young guys early in the season. There's 3-1, and swing and a miss from Bleday.
Well, it was the devastating split finger that did a lot of the heavy lifting for Nathan Eovaldi this evening. Kirby Yates, bit of a split artist himself. See what he dials up here, 3-2 against the lefty.
And he punched him out, so Bleday looks back to home plate umpire Tom Hanahan, but it was right there, just catching the zone. 3 up, 3 down, 3-2 Rangers. Toyota. Well, we sit here 3-2. The Rangers have the one-run lead over the Oakland Athletics. It's been a couple of big blasts. Shea Langoliers has 2 solo home runs, but every time the A's get back in this, there's an answer on the other side. Home runs from Jonah Heim and Evan Carter. Alex Wood left after 4 innings. We're gonna hear in the post-game show how he's doing. Kind of pointed to his calf, but ended up staying in the game after trainers looked at him. So he's okay. Nathan Eovaldi had 5 2/3 innings pitched, and they have been in the pen. When it's time for a change, think Speedy Oil Change and Auto Service, your trusted oil change and tune-up and repair experts. It's in the air from Wyatt Langford. Trouble in foul territory, and Nevin will get there in time. 1 gone from Michael Kelly in relief now for the Athletics.
You gotta love that. Come in and dial up early outs.
Kelly making his 6th appearance of the season already. Just in game 11 for the A's. He's been utilized out of that pen. 6 innings of work, 6 hits, given up 3 earned runs, walked 3, and has struck out 6. Challenge of Adolis Garcia, again, 4 homers on the season. That's popped up and out of play. Here's the 0-2 on the ground. Allen backhands it and over to Nevin, 2 gone.
We like to see this. I think this is an example of J.D. Davis and Nick Allen spending some time together here. J.D. Davis, instead of trying to finish that and come all the way through, maybe cut Nick Allen off, like you see third baseman do, decides to lay out. Let Nick Allen, with that great throwing arm, field it cleanly with the backhand.
Brings up Jonah Heim, who homered in the game. 0 for 7 stretch before that long ball, and you see right there Jose Leclerc. Bruce Bochy named him the closer. Able to use him in high leverage situations, but he earned that role with his tough postseason play. Called strike 1 and 2. Last year, got the chance last year to cover the ALCS between the Astros and the Rangers for MLB Network Radio, and watching Leclerc and the blow up that he had to a bounce back performance in the World Series was quite impressive. That's in the air, and the 3rd out of the 8th. It's gonna be the last chance for the A's coming up in the 9th. Davis, Brown, and Shea Langoliers, who owns both runs for Oakland today with the big home runs.
Class-leading MPG and more hybrid models than any other brand. Toyota, let's go places. And by Mancini Sleep World, we'll pay the sales tax on select mattresses. Visit sleepworld.com.
Did Johnny Dasco miss the eclipse because he was eating still, or did he catch it? I didn't see it because I had the glasses on.
Well, it looked like he had something on his face that might have been in the way. I don't know if he could see past it, but yeah, we were all out there. He had a good time. He's always had a nose for Mother Nature, Jenny.
Great old time. When it's time for a change, think Speedy Oil Change and Auto Service, your trusted oil change, tune-up, and repair experts. Jose Leclerc in to try and close it out for the Texas Rangers. J.D. Davis will be the first to try and get on base. He's looking to make a rally against a tough one. I was talking about the postseason last year, and the ALCS against Houston ended up blowing a save in a really big game and an opportunity in Game 5. And here's where Bruce Bochy is such a good manager and a good manager of people. He went back to him. And not only did he go back to him, he ended up making a huge difference. And in the World Series, used him in Game 1, Game 3, and Game 4. Able to record a couple saves in the postseason. He's the master of the bullpen. A swing and a miss from J.D. Davis, and there's one gone.
Yeah, Jenny, you don't just fall backwards into 4 World Series championships. Having a guy at the back end of your bullpen that can come in and do what you're seeing from Leclerc right now really helps out, and that's something that Bruce Bochy in 10, 12, and 14 had at his disposal. You mentioned it, but you know, Chris Young and company kind of went back to the drawing board even after hanging their banner and said, we're going to need a little more firepower down there in that bullpen.
You always need all the depth you can get, and again, after all those arms were utilized so deep into the postseason, the offseason becomes short, and the next season can become long and get long on you quick after having played so deep. No complaints, because you got the ring to show for it. Just about making that adjustment. 3-0 to Seth Brown. I'm trying to keep the A's alive. That's on the ground and foul. Well, Leclerc's giving up some runs here this 2024 season. Started out struggling against the Cubs. Allowed 5 earned runs over 2 appearances. Last 2 appearances, just 1 earned run allowed. And a 1-out walk to Seth Brown brings up the hottest hitter of the game for the Oakland A's.
Just the man you want at the dish right now if you're in the green and gold, because he has been rocking. Second inning, lift off for Langoliers, and folks, he wasn't done. Heads up in center. The Shay's coming at you. Now with 1 on, 1 out. A's down by 1. Gonna turn it over to the Baylor Bear once again. 2 for 3, those solo homers we just showed you. And a man for the pinching for the big moment here in Texas.
He swings at the first pitch. That is sent deep in the heart of Texas. Shay Langoliers, have yourself a game. A 3-homer game. The Oakland A's take the lead 4-3 against the Texas Rangers closer. Someone came to party. What a big moment for the Oakland A's catcher.
Oh, buddy. Nobody happier right now. Last A's player with 3 jacks in a game, Jordan Diaz. That was last year at Yankee Stadium. Quite a ball game for him. But come on home, Bangaliers.
Swing and a miss for Tyler Nevin. He's down 0-2.
There is no star bigger or brighter in the sky tonight than the one that Langoliers is on.
First career homer here. And now a career first, a 3-homer game for Shea Langoliers. All 4 runs belong to his big bat. Nevin looking to extend the inning, 2-2.
Well, it's kind of just how the game works out. We've talked about the mastery that is Bruce Bochy in managing arms coming out of the bullpen, looking for his matchup with Robertson.
And a swing and a miss. Nevin goes down.
Let's take you back. Oh, hurt me. They call him Bangaliers, and for good reason. 3 times over, Shea has swung it and swung it well. Cashed in Leclerc.
That's on the ground. And Butler will be retired on the ground ball. Damage done. Like 1,236 feet of homers. Langoliers had him up his sleeve today, and the A's are going to try and finish things in the bottom of the 9th, up 4-3. Ninth here in Arlington, Texas, but the time has been all about Shea Langoliers at the plate. He's made quick time and quick work of any pitcher he's faced. A 3-homer game, and it is 4-3. Oakland on top. So Miller in to close it out. We've seen him in some high leverage situations. We've seen him in multi-inning situations. How about a save situation here?
Well, you thought you've seen firepower off the bat of Shea Langoliers. Just hold tight, ladies and gentlemen, because this is about to be thunder.
Big swing and a miss offered from Ezekiel Duran. Starts with the slider. Starting to rumble into that thunder Dallas is talking about. Just playing cute early. Miller looking for his first career save. his timeout. Duran steps back in the box. Here's the 1-2. Just touching triple digits.
Well, it's old hat for Mace.
On the ground. And over to first, one gone as Daryl Hernandez came in the game.
Hernandez over at third. J.D. Davis heads over to first.
One gone, an inch in closer to the end of the game, but still work to do. Evan move out to left field. And Jared Walsh will be the pinch hitter here in the 9th inning.
And Jared Walsh can have all the conversations he wants with guys in the dugout about what they think they're seeing, what they hope they might see. But it's an uphill battle.
The first pitch at 100 miles an hour. At the bottom of the zone, a called strike on the slider, 0-2. Not be a comfortable place off the bench.
No, 0-2, staring down the barrel of 1-0-2. No thanks.
Two. Pitch fouled off.
Well, you can just get a sense that these are the moments that Mason Miller has been waiting for. He's talked a lot about wanting to be able to finish the job that the rest of the team has gone out and done. He wants to be the one to make sure that everything pays off in the end.
First time here at Globe Life Field. First time facing the Rangers and first chance at a save. Last two appearances doing multi-innings for Mark Kotsay. Scott Emerson is pitching coach. And a swing and a miss. So a big strikeout here for 2 outs.
Well, Jenny, it just tickles me every time I see it, and I know it's coming, but it's 100 miles an hour. Just put in a place where I'm not sure if he told you it was coming, you could get to it. That's 100 under the hands of the left-hander.
So this battle goes down to an out against Evan Carter. He does swing at the first pitch. Typically very patient in his at-bats.
Well, you could understand right now at 100 miles plus, there's a good chance you don't see another pitch from Mason Miller, let alone get one you think you can get the bat to.
Miller ahead of Carter. Go 2.
0-2, 1-0-2, elevated in. Throw him a chair.
It's nothing more than to finish this out for his catcher, who did all the work at the plate today for the A's. Here's the pitch.
Oh.
Langoliers try to hold it on the outside corner.
Well, and you could see right before Mason started to work home, Langoliers just emphatically pumped the fist like, come on, dot it up.
Oof.
So close.
So close. Here we go. 2-2.
Well, I think after those two, he slowed him down just enough for that 100-mile-an-hour plus to play here.
Here's the pitch from Miller.
Yeah.
And he got him. Just froze Evan Carter, and the first career save in the book for Mason Miller. He hugs his catcher who worked so hard today, and the Oakland A's get a one-run victory.
You knew it was coming. 101 dotted up, in with no chance for Carter to pull the trigger. The boys down in the dugout, they appreciate it. Skipper gonna shake hands.
Call it a win streak, 3 in a row for the Oakland A's, and they finally get that one-run victory, 4-3. They had to play uphill today, Dallas. They were down 1-0. Shea Langeliers' bat seemed to have the answer for just about everything.
Well, and I think what you wanted to see was what we have seen from this offense the last few days, and that's passing the baton. We've talked a lot about, we've harped on really, the quality of the at-bats that you're starting to get from guys, and we know that in this game, those are things that have that trickle-down effect. And what you like to see is the power start to come along. We saw a little bit of that surging in Detroit. We're seeing a lot more of that start to rear its head now here in Texas, and all off the barrel of old Langeliers.
I think the interesting thing, it's 3 games, it's a small sample size, but the excitement comes because the work already happened. The work of spring training that didn't transpire at the beginning of the year. There was really kind of a group thought of, hey, let's just get back to where we were working. We're going on the road, get back to spring training, and guess what? That's exactly the work they've put in between Detroit and this first game in Texas.
Well, and in spring training, what you're doing is you're trying to simplify some of the things that you might be working on. And I think one of the sayings that you kind of hold close to your heart is keep it stupid simple, which means just really bare bones, see ball, hit the glove, whichever side of the baseball you're on. And I think early in the season, it's beneficial to remind yourself that that's how we have to handle business, because you just never know. You never know when you're going to get a Baylor Bear to start clawing at you, Jenny.
Ooh, and he certainly did. Shea Langeliers joining us now. Congrats, Shea, a career day for you, the 3 home runs. What is it about being back in Texas?
I don't know, just getting to sleep in my own bed, get a little home cooking. You know, just always have fun getting to come back to Texas and play ball.
Shea, you've done a fantastic job, my man, of steering some of the young guys in the rotation through their outings. You've had a few bounce-back outings from some of the veteran guys as well.
Yeah.
And it feels like you've done really just a lot of the heavy lifting in that regard. So talk to us about the mindset, steering those ships, and then being able to separate that and go out and bang the way you do.
Yeah, honestly, it's just, you know, we kind of just been trying to just relax, go out there and have fun and play baseball, you know. Stop trying to be perfect all the time. Stop being afraid to make mistakes. Just go out there, give it what you got, and whatever happens, happens. So that kind of just, you know, took a load off us as a team, helped us play relax, and we're having fun right now.
How about watching Mason Miller get that reward, get that save opportunity and cash in on his first career save? What'd you say to him after the game?
I told him to hold on to that ball, don't get rid of it. It's just awesome what he's doing right now, and it's a lot of fun to be a part of.
Absolutely. Shea, congratulations on a career day. Go celebrate with the boys, 3 in a row.
Awesome. Thanks,
for
guys.
the Oakland A's. So cool to see that bat of Shea Langeliers go to work today. You talk about 4 home runs now on the season. That's the leader in the clubhouse.
That's it, and he deserves it. He deserves to have this kind of homecoming. I don't think it could have happened to a better guy in a better place. And again, we're going to talk a lot about the offense, but what he's done helping the staff, I think, definitely needs some attention as well.
Absolutely. Let's get you to the post-game show to wrap up an Oakland A's victory. Toyota A's post-game live starts right now after an Oakland A's victory 4-3 over the Texas Rangers to start the series here in Arlington.